Hey guys, it's your girl Ashy.
Game over.
Why? Katayama was back on the floor right where we'd set him down when the whole ordeal began. Why wasn't he on Yuya's shoulders? What was going on? I had an inkling, but I didn't want to believe it, so I pushed it out of my mind. Yuya! What are you all still doing here? We need to get Katayama ready to go. He didn't make it. What? Right after you left, he let out a huge scream. And then he just went limp. No. I didn't know what else to say. A person had just died. Not some stranger, but a person I knew. A friend. It was the strangest feeling. I kept looking at him and thinking, is he really dead? Is this really what a person looks like when he dies? Seeing him like that drained every last bit of energy I had in me. I fell to my knees, thoroughly defeated. Oh, Jesus. Okawa says he isn't moving from Katayama's side. So what are we supposed to do now? Emmy and I couldn't stay near the body. We'd gone down to the second floor, where we picked a corner and just stood there, trying to recompose ourselves. Yuya elected to stay with Okawa on the third floor, I guess to try and break him from his shock and help put some distance between him and Katayama. None of this felt real. Or maybe I just didn't want it to be real. It was a nightmare, it had to be. I'd just sit up in my bed and it would all be over. Why did this have to happen? I'm not waking up. I don't get it. I'm not waking up. I keep trying to tell myself this is all a dream, but... Tohko. My energy was waning again. I sank to the ground, landing on my knees. Emmy followed my lead and put an arm around me for comfort. A friend had just died. He just... died. God, why? He was walking towards us. Emmy and I looked at each other. We both heard them. Footsteps coming from down the hall. It was too dark to make out who it was, but the gate was decidedly male. The two of us slowly and quietly rose to our feet, hid around the corner and peeked out, both terrified and curious as to whom, or what, we might see. Oh, those footsteps. There, at the end of the hall, the figure finally came into view. It was a tallish man, unsteadily teetering as he slowly strode towards us. It was Shimada, drenched from head to toe.
Shimada-kun!
Ah, Shima!
Huh?
Da? Emmy shot forward, intending to run towards him, but I grabbed her arm and held her back without even thinking about it. She turned and looked at me with a puzzled expression. I can't handle him. What? Don't tell me he did something to you. No. Thank goodness. Times like these especially. We really need to keep each other in the loop about everything that happens. She looked back at me again as she said this, staring right into my eyes in an almost disciplinary manner. It was the perfect guilt stare. I couldn't help but succumb to it, feeling bad for not having filled her in about the Shimada incident. Yeah. Shimada continued his slow, wet walk down the hall. Then all of a sudden, for no discernible reason, he simply fell forward, landing hard on his knees. Something was wrong with him, and while I loathed the man, I didn't want to see him suffer. Emmy and I were both poised to rush to his aid. Can't speak. When other figures randomly began appearing all around him, figures of children, blue and ethereal, shimmering with their own light. What are they? We could barely even see Shimada from our vantage point anymore. His body was obscured almost completely by the backs of these ghost children. He wasn't moving though, so it didn't seem like they were doing anything to him. But then, he wasn't moving at all, which seemed highly suspicious. It occurred to me that maybe we should try to save him. I inched forward. He was still in exactly the same position he had been when he fell to his knees. He literally hadn't moved at all. Was he unconscious? Emmy and I looked at one another and nodded. It was a silent signal to move forward and do whatever we could to help. Oh. The children vanished as we approached, revealing a horrific sight. Shimada's stomach had been flayed wide open. He was dead. The knife he'd flaunted earlier was jutting out from the wound. It was almost a ceremonial death, like that of a samurai who'd thrown himself on his sword. Did the spirits do that? No. No! What were those children? How should I know? They might still be nearby. Kizami! It is horrible! Shimada is... Yuya, who'd presumably rushed down to see what was wrong, calmly walked over to Shimada's body. He was checking for signs of respiration or pulse. He turned back to face us all a moment later, and his facial expression said it all. Shimada really was dead. I was beginning to lose it. I just couldn't take any more of this. My friends and acquaintances were dying, one by one. I guess I should say, had died, but it didn't seem like it was over, not by a long shot. This is bad. There's something in here with us. Something that's trying to kill us. Too right about that. Hell, it was doing more than trying. It already succeeded twice over. I was scared, I was paranoid, I was shaking and crying and screaming inside. I was deathly afraid that something else would show up, and then it did. Oh god. It was a little girl in a red dress, standing between us and the third floor staircase. I couldn't make out the expression on her face through her bangs, but I could literally feel the hatred in her eyes as she stared into our souls. Then she turned around and slid up the staircase, into the third floor hallway. What's... Emmy was turned the other way, so she hadn't seen the girl at all. She eventually followed our gazes, but by that time, the girl was gone. She looked confused. That particular apparition looked a lot different from the other ghosts I'd seen, but there was still no doubt in my mind. She was definitely a ghost. What do we do about Okawa? We have to go get him. We have to get him out of the school now. I'll go call him down. Wait. Yuya, I'll come with. It could be dangerous. You wait here. Dangerous? Well, that is the direction the girl in the red dress went, and I guess Yuya didn't want me to be put in harm's way. I nodded and watched his back recede into the darkness as he chased after Emmy. I do not remember Sachiko showing up, I'm going to be honest. Pull yourself together. Pull yourself together, Tohko. You know what they say. No weapon can pierce a calm heart. So what's the most important thing right now? What was going on? Why was Emmy screaming? I could hear voices now. Emmy and Okawa were having a heated argument. It's not possible! We have to leave him and run! We'll get caught if we don't! No, we can't just leave him behind! We have to take him to a hospital! But he's dead! No, he's not! He's dead! He's not! He can't be! Leave him and run? We'll get caught? That ghost girl must have been pursuing them. This is bad. I have to go help them. Is it obvious yet? What the? Katayama's body was sprawled unceremoniously on the landing halfway up to the third floor, along with Okawa. At the top of the stairs stood Emmy, and in front of her, Yuya, with an imposing scowl on his face. I didn't understand any of this. What had just happened? Emmy let out another scream and came running towards me down the stairs. Okawa, then, seemed as if he'd fallen and broken his arm. He was lopsided, crawling towards me. It was almost as if he were trying to distance himself from Yuya. Murderer! I ran to the base of the stairs to meet up with Emmy. I needed some sort of context here. Emmy, what happened? What's going on? Run! Run away! You'll be killed! Kitami kicked him down the stairs. Out of the blue. What? I glanced up at Yuya, but his face was shrouded in darkness. I couldn't make out any expression at all. Ah! Okawa seemed to have reached his breaking point. He shot to his feet and took off behind me towards the second floor, as fast as he could. Yuya kicked Okawa down the stairs. Why? Yuya. It's not true, is it? Slowly, he walked down to the landing. He was neither concerned nor scornful. His face was a blank state. As soon as he reached my level, he bent down and began fiddling with Katayama's body. Raising the arms, then letting them drop, wiping blood from the ears and nose, then looking at it as if studying a specimen under a microscope. Can I even do this? What the hell? He was enjoying this? I finally got to see an emotion written clearly on his face, and it was elation? How was this not some crazy dream? Yuya? Yuya, no! Tears began spilling from my eyes like water. I was shocked, confused, and I don't even know what else. Tohko, get away from him! Help me! Oh god. Emmy and I found ourselves standing in front of the door to the school infirmary. Shimada took the key and lost it, so this room is no good. We hid in a place like that, we'd be sitting ducks anyway. We need to go farther down, to the first floor. The poor girl was frantic. I can't say I blamed her, but well, something about this whole situation just didn't feel right to me. Emmy, I'm still not sure we need to run. What? I just don't believe Yuya, kind, sweet Yuya, would be capable of something like that. But he really did kick him down the stairs. It happened. He kicked Okawa? How can that possibly be true? Imagine being blinded by love. Couldn't be me. Fine, do what you want then. I don't care anymore. With that, Emmy pushed me out the way and ran past me towards the stairwell leading to the first floor. Ah, Emmy! I have nothing more to say to you. You wouldn't believe me anyway, since you're so convinced I'm lying. And off she went. I was now separated from every one of my friends. But was I really in danger? I mean, I was, but from Yuya? That just didn't seem right. Or more likely, I didn't want it to be. I wanted to believe that this was all a misunderstanding. My legs were shaking and my head was swimming. I just stood there, unsure of where I should go or what I should do. And then, there he was, right behind me. And in his hand was Shimada's huge knife, the one that was at last seen jutting from Shimada's stomach. It was still dripping with blood. This definitely made matters more complicated. How could I doubt Yuya's guilt when he was holding something like that? Why did he even have it? How could he possibly bring himself to pull a knife from his friend's lifeless corpse? But I wasn't going to run. I turned around and braced myself. I opened my mouth, intent on discussing this rationally. If I ran away now, I felt like it would all be over. There'd be nothing left to save, no one left to trust. But what could I possibly say to him? You alright? My body was still visibly shuddering, and I doubted I'd have much of a voice if I tried talking. But I just wanted this all to be a horrible mistake so badly. I knew I had to say something. I knew I had to get through to him. Maybe he was just freaking out in his own way. This whole experience had been taxing for all of us, and And Yuya's only human. He must have been terrified. And maybe I could help him get through it. Get him to talk about what's bothering him. And feel a little better. It was worth a shot at least. She's really out here like, Kizami, this is not like you. Not part of it. Yuya. Are you alright?
Kirisaki.
Kirisaki. Do you know where Urabe and Okawa are? Huh? Why? No answer. He just started muttering to himself and slowly walked right past me, as if I weren't even there. Yuya! What are you doing? What do you have in your hands? I thought I could put it to good use. In a lot of ways. Stop this! Get rid of that thing. No, I couldn't let this go on. I grabbed him by the arm and just clung to him, putting my full weight on his body to keep him going any further down the hallway. He was at a crossroads, about to walk down a path of no return, and I wasn't going to lose the kind, considerate Yuya I'd fallen for. Unfortunately, the only tools I had at my disposal from stopping him were my feelings, and those just weren't going to be enough. Oh, I forgot about that. I was so startled that it took me a moment before I'd even figured out what happened. It's the same in here, you know. That was the first time in my entire life that I'd ever been punched in the head, and he put everything he had into it. Getting killed by this school. I couldn't focus. My brain was still rattling inside my skull from the impact. Or getting killed by me. The world was spinning. I looked up at him with spasmodic, twitchy, tear-filled eyes. There was no sign of remorse or compassion whatsoever. He looked like a feudal warrior, clutching his sword and staring down at his enemy. The area all around my eye was throbbing. It hurt so badly. I felt so swollen and sore. I couldn't even imagine what I must have looked like. And he wasn't done with me. He got closer and closer, grinning unnaturally as he raised his fist for a second strike. Let's test this out on you, shall we? You can be the first. Did she run? I was running on pure instinct and adrenaline at this point. I shot to my feet and just forced them to carry me to safety. Somewhere. Anywhere. He was going to kill me. He was really going to kill me. God. I felt something rattling around uncomfortably inside my mouth, so I spit it out into my hand. It was white. A single white tooth with blood-red highlights at its root. That maniac had actually knocked out one of my teeth. Oh God. My tooth. He was there, just behind me. I panicked, tripping over my own feet and stumbling to the ground on the landing between the first and second floor. I'd fallen on my backside, dropping my tooth on the ground next to me. I began slinking away from the encroaching figure of Yuya Kazami. Save me, somebody, anybody. God, please. No. I was scooting backwards across the floor, too stiff, sore, and scared to stand. But then my hand brushed across something small and metallic. A key. It's the infirmary key that Shimada lost. Ah. Even with my hand over it, I was shaking so badly that I could barely work my fingers to get a grip. It was the most frustrating feeling in the world, and for a few seconds, that felt like hours, I just kept trying in vain to pick up that damned key. Finally, I slipped my finger through the ring. I had it. This was my one and only chance. Scrambling to my feet, I somehow slipped past Yuya and ran back up to the second floor, as fast as I could force my shaky legs to carry me. I had the key. I could lock myself in. I could hide in the infirmary. Kazami didn't pursue, not right away. He just stood there, staring. Staring at the tooth that I'd dropped on the ground. Staring intently, as if trying to make out what he was seeing. A tooth? Oh, he's doing it behind me. Oh, he's like in my left ear. Oh, I hated that. Oh, he's still going. Oh, it's like he's behind me. Bitch, Really? That's so solid. How the fuck are you crunching that? There didn't seem to be any way to lock the door from the inside. I needed to find a hiding place before Yuya showed up. The corner of the room? Under the bed, maybe? I was scanning every inch of the room as quickly as possible, sizing up my surroundings. My eyes stopped on one of the medicine shelves. Scissors! There are scissors in there! It felt like such a revelation, like the answer I was looking for. But what was I going to do with scissors? Was I going to fight? Fight who? Yuya? I wouldn't stand a chance. I decided to leave them there. I stepped back, crouched down behind the partitioning screen that was set up in the middle of the room. There's a ghost girl in a red dress coming! Urabe had run back to the bathrooms on the third floor to warn Akawa about the imminent threat that was approaching. Unsurprisingly, he was still crouched on the ground, cradling Katayama's lifeless head in his arms. And he was still stubbornly insistent that if we were to leave that spot, we'd have to carry Katayama with him. It's not possible! We have to leave him and run! We'll get caught if we don't! No! We can't just leave him behind! We have to take him to a hospital! But he's dead! No, he's not! He's dead! He can't be! What a stubborn, foolish man. I'd had enough. I decided to rip Katayama's body from Akawa's arms and kick it down the stairs. It made one hell of a thud when it hit the landing, but he was already dead, so what did it matter? As long as it helped get Akawa moving, I didn't care. See? Look, he's dead, so get your ass off that floor and run. Open your eyes. Katayama is dead. We have to get out of here now. Kisame! Urabe was looking at me, then at Katayama's body, then back at me, as if she couldn't make up her mind which was more interesting. But why was she looking at me? Did I have something on my face? Okawa, on the other hand, was focused squarely on Katayama. He was trembling all over, but I thought he finally understood. Then he turned towards me. Murderer! He yelled like a madman and ran down the stairs towards his friend's body. He wasn't exactly in his right mind, however, so those last few steps didn't quite go as planned. He tripped and fell, quite hard, next to Katayama. Oh, so he broke his own arm. Wow. What happened? What's going on? Murderer? Who? Me? I wasn't the one who killed Katayama. Run! Run away! You'll be killed! I see. In here? Getting killed by the school and getting killed by me are one and the same. We're all going to die in here either way, after all. An anecdote from Byakuren High. Thanks, Kazami. I believe there's another chapter, though. That's the end of the first 7. I'm not sure if there's an extra one. I heard there was, but I don't know what that entails. But yeah, that's that. We finished Book of Shadows. I gotta say though, the art style, I do like the art style. They improved on the first game, definitely. Yay! Prologue Blood Drive chapter is now available. Ooh, Blood Drive? So like leading into the actual thing, Blood Drive.